All right, we got some new news regarding the Quentin Grimes dilemma that took place with the 76ers before him ultimately signing the qualifying offer to go back to Philly on a one-year deal. At one point, Quentin Grimes reportedly requested $30 million per year from the Sixers, per Shams. After Grimes' side indicated the desire to contract in the 30 million range early in free agency and then in the 20 million to 25 million range, and the two sides never found traction on a new deal this offseason ahead of Wednesday's 11:59 Eastern Time deadline for the qualifying offer. Hey, if this is true, and this is from Shams is always known to be fairly accurate. You need a new set of friends, you need a new set of representation, and you might have to contemplate a new group of family members because whoever is in your ear and even throwing a number like that in the conversation, they don't love you for real. They don't truly value you and they don't want the best for you. And you have to question if you should continue to have these people around your circle because this just seems like this is the level of greed they talked about in the Bible. Seriously. Because I like it. I like you as a player. And I think you do have value and I think you're worth more than the qualifying offer that you just settled for. But 30 million per year, you're not worth that. You can't get that off half a season of good play. No, sir. I'm sorry. And I'm not. The phone would have been hung up and we wouldn't have spoke again until that number was at a maximum of 20 or under. Because that's disrespectful for you to even mention 30 million. You're not worth that. And where were they going to get that money from? Joel's on a max. I'm pretty sure Tyrese is on a max and Paul George is on a max. So what? Your representation doesn't understand how the cap works. Where were they going to get that money from? Sorry, they didn't have it. So I think this is just asinine to even be reading that you guys had any interest in 30 million per year. That's out of your range. You're not worth that. So crazy report to see. And I see why you settled for the qualifying offer because I've said it previously. Your future doesn't reside in Philadelphia. You're a good player. They don't have the way that team and organization is set up. You do not have a long-term future there. If you want that 30 million, it's going to be from a terrible franchise who just needs anybody that could potentially score the ball or could be a bright spot for their franchise. It's not them. So, hey, you took a loss. You had to settle for the qualifying offer when you probably should have or could have got more. But hey, you do control your destiny. You don't get to get moved, and you'll get to see what your value is next year in free agency. Hopefully, you have a spot and a rotational spot with the Philadelphia 76ers, and you can maintain the value you've already proven. We'll see what happens.